So what's happening, people? MMA equals SCG. Go and check out my Facebook page, my new Facebook page. I thought I'd give it a go. Facebook.com/Courtney MMA. I'm posting links on there and whatever else relevant to MMA, you name it. Sort of extension to Twitter sort of thing. But I thought I'd try it out. But anyway, go and like the page. I'll put the details in down here. A big shout out to John Petit from MMA Recap for his By the Numbers document. Basically, people, if you want to get on that list to receive the By the Numbers document, basically it's a breakdown of all. So like he'll give you all the odds, a breakdown of the fighter, their wins, their losses. But it's a really good document. If you want to be on the list to receive that, holler at John Petit or Petit. John, holler at me tell me if I'm saying your name right, pronouncing your name right. I'll put not his details. I'll put he's on Twitter. His username is @Scream13. So if you want to get that document, holler at him. I think he's giving away the one I'm using for this UFC on Fox 2 for free. So go and see him. But anyway, it's me, Courtney. I'm back. Predictions for UFC on Fox 2, which will take place on Saturday the 28th of January 2012 at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. In the UK, it'll be on at 1 a.m. on Sunday morning. I'm not sure which channel it's showing actually. It might be FX or it might be no. I think it'll be ESPN. Sorry. So, yeah. But anyway, this card is chopped and changed a bit. It still looks good anyway. I think there'll be 3 fights on the main card, so televised. They're the 3 really good fights. There could be some the undercard fights, particularly the Evan Dunham versus Nick Lentz. That could be a really good fight as well. But I'll go through the fights from the bottom of the card to the top, to the main event. But anyway, I'll start with some of the ones that might not be on the TV anyway. Evan Dunham versus Nick Lentz. Evan Dunham's got 12-2 record, 5'10". Evan Dunham's got good wrestling, good scramble, really good scrambler as well. He's got good submissions. He can submit people. He's got some good, decent submission game. His last fight was a win against Shamar Bailey. His last 5 fights had 3 wins and 2 losses. But he's fighting Nick Lentz, the Carney, I think his name is, or something like that. Nick the Carney, I don't know what that means. Someone explain that to me, please. He's 5'8". He's got a 21-4-2 record. Nick Lentz has got good wrestling. He's a grinder. He's got decent. He can keep people on the back for a long time as well. Very relentless in his submissions, in his takedowns. He carries on. His last fight was a loss against Mark Boschek. His last 5 fights are 3 wins, 1 loss and 1 no contest. The odds for this fight, Evan Dunham is -320 and Nick Lentz is +740. No, not 740, 240. Me, I'm going to go with the favourite, which is Evan Dunham. I think he probably can do it by submission in the first or second round. So that's that fight. Next fight on the card is Change 1. Is Damian Maia versus Christopher Weidman. I was just about to say Weidman. This was originally supposed to be Damian Maia versus Michael Bisping, but Mark Munoz got injured, so Chael Sonnen had no opponent. Bisping stepped up, and Weidman stepped up to face Damian Maia. Damian Maia's got a 15-3 record, 6 foot tall, world-class jiu-jitsu, world-renowned jiu-jitsu player, loads of world championships. He's an Abu Dhabi veteran. I think he's won Abu Dhabi as well. He's won everything at jiu-jitsu level. He's very good, grappling wise, jits wise. His striking's improving. Obviously, he's working with Vanderlei Silva. But that the Brazilian clique that's in the US right now. So you got Vanderlei's team, King's MMA. All those are gelling together. Black House, they're all gelling together. So they're all training with each other, unless they're specifically fighting each other. So they're all gelling together. He's not really a finisher though. If you look at his record, his last fight was a win against George Santiago. sent him packing again. His last 5 fights, he's had 3 wins and 2 losses. Chris Weidman, sorry, he's got 7-0 records, undefeated, 6 foot. He's a Division 1 wrestler, so he's a very good wrestler. He's a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's one of these guys, a hot prospect, you know. He's a young guy, but started training in some people's eyes late. So he started training like 2008, 2009. And according to Wikipedia, if you believe everything on there, he qualified for ADCC, the Abu Dhabi Combat Club Submission Grappling Championship, which is one of the best, well, probably is the best in the world for no gi. On supposedly 1 year's formal jiu-jitsu training. I don't know how true that is, but if it is true, geez, he must be good. But yeah, he's one of these guys that's seen the sport, probably started training late, and you know, guys like that are John Jones and Rory McDonald. There's probably a few more of them as well. They're really just moving up the ladder. Like John Jones is champion, Rory McDonald's doing really well. So you know, this guy could be a hot prospect. So that obviously he's unbeaten. His last fight was a win against Tom Lawler. And according to the odds, he's the favourite at -145, and Damian Maia is +125. I pick Chris Weidman to win. I see sort of an upset, but I see him beating up Damian Maia. Not submitting him, but he's probably knocking him out. You know, hard. Not Nathan Marquardt hard, but hard. So I'm picking Chris Weidman to win that fight. Next on the card is the ultimate shit-talking match that could have been talked about for years, but you know, obviously the change of card, it's not had much time to build much, but it's still built a lot anyway. You got Chael Sonnen, the People's Champ, versus Michael the Count Bisping. Chael Sonnen, if you haven't seen this guy, you've got to go on YouTube, look at his interviews. This guy's hilarious. He's, you know, if you haven't seen him chase down Anderson Silva with words, he's cussing off Anderson Silva, saying he's fake, he's phony, and all this. He goes after everybody. He's just hilarious. And for a guy that talks so much, you know, you think he couldn't back it, but he can back it up. He's got 26-11 and 1 record. Very good chin, very relentless with his takedowns and keeping people on the back. Decent cardio, very good cardio. He's got a lot of heart, determination. His last fight was a win against Brian Stan. But the one thing about Chael Sonnen, his kryptonite is submissions. He can't stay out of them. He gets submitted. If he gets beat, he gets submitted. His last 5 fights, he's had 4 wins and 1 loss. But he's fighting Michael Bisping, who's got a 22-3 record. Michael Bisping, obviously, he's another one of these shit talkers, but not as much as Chael Sonnen. He's not as delusional as Chael Sonnen. Bisping more into the insult sort of thing. Personally, before I didn't like Bisping too much, but you know, he's a fighter. As a fighter, I think he's really good. But as like, you know, as they portray him on the Ultimate Fighter, and you know, when I see his interviews, I'm not really impressed. But saying that, he's a good fighter. Bisping's got really good footwork, really good kickboxing, very light on his feet. His scrambling ability and his ability to replace the guard are very, very good. He's one of the people that, when he fought Dennis Kang, I thought Dennis Kang would pass his guard easily, but he didn't. Dennis Kang had a very hard time passing his guard. I don't think he ever did. And if he did, Bisping replaced it really quickly. So that's useful for controlling people, you know, they're controlling their posture, you know, so they can't arch up and start raining down. And he can get back up from that as well. You know, that for me, that was Bisping's best performance in Octagon, was against Dennis Kang. He'd just been knocked out by Dan Henderson, and he'd come back in and fought Kang. Kang was no joke at the time. You know, I've watched Pride with Dennis Kang. He was killing people in Pride. You know, really, really good fighter. And Bisping, you know, gutted it out and won. Saying that, his power on his feet, you know, his punches, for me, he never really sits down with his punches. I always say this in every video. To me, it doesn't seem like he gets enough power in there. But he punches fast. He punches a lot of punches he puts in as well. Because he couldn't put away Jason Miller, which was his last match. And he was connecting flush on his jaw, hitting him every time on the jaw. And Miller wasn't going down. As I said, his last fight was against Jason Miller. He won. His last 5 fights had 4 wins and 1 loss. The odds on this one, obviously Chael Sonning's the favourite and minus 450. Michael Bisping is at plus 350. But I'm going to go with Michael Bisping for this one. This is probably the only time I've gone with this guy for a fight. I have a feeling if he can stay light on his feet and keep on the outside and stay away from Chael Sonning's takedowns, I think he might be alright. He won't. I don't know if he'll knock out Chael Sonnen. He may submit him, but he's definitely not knocking him out. And if he knocks him out, I'd be very surprised. I don't know. I think Bisping can do it. He just has to. He can outpoint him. Definitely can outpoint him, but he's got to keep away from the takedowns. And if he gets taken down, he's got to use that guard, replace guard, hold it down, stall it out if he wants it back up on his feet. Which he probably could do. But I'm going to go bold. I'm going to pick Michael Bisping to win, either by decision or submission. I don't think he's going to knock out Chael Sonnen. But that's a long shot. You get some good odds on Michael Bisping. You get a fair bit of money back from if you put something on him. So bet on Bisping. I'm going to bet on him this time. Yeah. But yeah, Chael Sonnen, the People's Champ, hilarious. Very, very funny. And now for the main event on the card, which is Rashad Evans versus Phil Davis. Rashad Evans, former light heavyweight champion, Ultimate Fighter winner at heavyweight, 16-1-1 record, wicked hand speed, good takedowns, got good wrestling. He's very quick, very agile, man. He's just like a ninja, very quick guy, man. And if you've seen him recently, well, from his last fight anyway against Tito Ortiz, he was cocked, man. I was like, hench. He's got good takedown defense as well. He's supposedly a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I have this thing with people getting black belts, you know. I don't know. It's another bugbear of mine. He's getting black belt for obviously competing in the UFC. Obviously MMA is an amalgamation of everything, but it's not Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I can't get black belt from competing in MMA. What the hell is that one? I don't know. But anyway, his last fight was winning against Tito Ortiz. His last 5 fights are 4 wins and 1 loss. He's fighting Phil Davis. Phil Davis is, I can't remember how tall he is, but he's undefeated 9-0. Very, very strong, very good wrestler, all-American wrestler. He's a blue belt in Jiu-Jitsu. I think that's under Lloyd Irvin, but that's a good thing. He's got some long-ass reach. This guy's built like some, not strange, but he's just big, man. You know, he's another one. He's another guy like Chris Weidman. He's a young guy. May have seen the sport late. You know, he's just going through people. I mean, he beat Little Nog in his last fight. But yeah, Phil Davis is a really good wrestler. Really good. His hand ain't as good, but his wrestling is bad. His last 5 fights, he's had 5 wins. He's undefeated. This is a hard one to call. Obviously, Phil Davis is going to be looking for the takedown and submission, I think. But I'm going for Rashad Evans to win this fight. Rashad Evans is the favourite at 170, and Phil Davis is at plus 150. Rashad Evans if Phil Davis, you know, I don't know, may catch him on his glass jaw, I don't know. But I'm picking Rashad Evans to win, either by decision or TKO or something like that. But yeah. Those are my predictions. The odds are provided by John Petit or Petit. Holler at him if you want the same sheet that I've got, the binder number sheet, Screen 13. Check out some of the websites that I may be on. tweetmma.co.uk, mmapundit.co.uk. I train at Leicester MMA when I can. LeicesterMMA.co.uk. Follow me on Twitter with the same username, chokewho. As I said before, like my Facebook page, MMA equals SCG. Facebook.com/Courtney MMA. But yeah, those are my predictions. I know they're late. The next one will be a bit more. I'm going to try a few different things. I'm going to get a few editing bits in there. I'm going to get people complaining about the background. I'm going to get a new background. I may have guests as well. I'm going to try and get some guests in here. But yeah, if there's anyone I forgot, I will get you next time. Peace.